Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Lab Podcast. This is episode number 26, which we are getting up there in number and age. So that's pretty exciting. How do you feel, Kel, now that we are into our 26th episode?
We're almost in our 30s. It's crazy.
Whoa, getting up there for sure. Should we party when we hit 30?
I think so, obviously. I mean, come on. You only hit the big 3-0 every once in a while.
This is very true. How's your week been? How's life? What's new?
Oh man, it's been a weird week. I don't know. It was I had to work. I worked today at the gym, and I'll tell this story because it was kind of funny. So I worked the front desk at my gym, and this older lady comes in and like she hands me her key fob, which is weird because you can just scan it yourself. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I scan it for her, and she's like, can you get in the elevator with me? And I'm like, sure. And so I get in the elevator with her, and she goes, you're very trusting to get into an elevator with a stranger these days. And I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, I'm an 82-year-old woman. And she's like, I just don't like to ride in elevators alone. And I'm like, okay. And because our gym is 3 floors, and she goes, you're very handsome, you know. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, you have really good legs. And I'm like, this is the weirdest interaction I have ever had. And she's ancient. And I'm like, what is going on? She's like, I just really like to ride the bike. Do you have a trainer you would recommend? I really want to get into lifting weights. I'm like, you are old. What are you doing? It made me so uncomfortable, and it was only 3 floors, but it felt like we were going up. And so we went up to the 3rd floor because that's what she said she wanted. And then she's like, oh, nope, this isn't the floor I wanted. So we had to go back down to the 2nd floor. And then she finally got out, and then she put her arm back in. She's like, can I ask you one more question? And I'm like, oh, no, I just want to go. And she's like, who should I go to train with? And I'm like, I don't know. Here's our list. And I just pushed the button and went down.
Wow, you were sexually harassed by an older woman.
By an old woman, not an older woman.
Age is just a number, right? I mean,
Sure
I thought for sure she was gonna just gas chamber fart in the elevator with you in there. So you're lucky, it was just a little harassment.
Just a little harassment. I think I should have farted, to be honest.
You
I think it would have made it move faster. So that's how my day was. How was your day?
Well, I mean, at least it's a little bit of an ego boost, maybe. Maybe not your type or, invited, but she thinks you're an attractive man, or at least your legs.
Yeah, I was rocking the 5-inch inseam, the Hoochie Daddy shorts.
So I'm sorry, man. You were just asking for it. That's your fault.
I was asking for it. I should have known.
Yeah, just gonna victim blame you all day long for that. It's the shorts. You just deserved it.
Deserved it. That's so funny.
Oh man, that's great. Those are moments you never forget. Kind of like the time where I was flashed in the gym parking lot.
Exactly.
And it's these women, man. These older women. They're living their best lives, and they give 0 fucks, and they're gonna compliment your legs and show you their boobs. So
yeah,
life just gets better with age.
Apparently, once you hit a certain age, it just doesn't matter anymore. You just do whatever the fuck you want. I can't wait.
Exactly. No, I mean, we should just start now. I think we should just start now. So,
well, I mean, Mercury's in the microwave, so I think it's time.
Perfect. Then we should definitely just live our best lives.
Obviously. Shit, man. So, how are you living? How was your week?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get hit on, so
damn.
A little sad about that. But was pretty average week, nothing too crazy. I just I have a procedure on Tuesday where they stick a little camera down my peen. So Yeah, they got to put
Just a
me
little
under
thing.
for that. Yeah, they just want peekaboo, you check inside there. And so I'm excited for that. Luckily, I will
Good.
not be conscious, though. That would be all sorts of weird. So, yeah, they're putting me under, and I might have a stricture. I think I talked about this last week, but
Mhm.
if I do have a stricture, he'll just fix it then, and then it's like 3 days with the catheter. Uh, but if I don't, then I don't. Whatever, cool. Then we'll have to figure out what else is wrong. But we will address that later. Uh, I just had to like figure out. So I got all the pre-op things, and with pre-op things, there comes COVID tests now. I had to do like a urine test, and then I've still got some consent forms I need to sign, and it's Tuesday. So the COVID test was the most ridiculously hard thing. I wanted to throw something. It was ridiculous. So the surgeon's referral for a COVID test only works if you live or are in the Bay Area. So I'm like, I am not driving down to San Francisco to take a COVID test. Like, that's ridiculous.
No.
So I had my primary care physician send an order so that I could just have it done within my medical group. Apparently, that's also impossible. I called around trying to see where I could even schedule this test, have it done, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't do that." And I am just kind of dumb. What? You don't do COVID tests for? Yeah. So they sent me to this other number for like specific pre-op COVID testing, but then they wouldn't do it for me because I'm not having this procedure done within Sutter Hospital. It's not, yeah, not affiliated with Sutter. So I'm like, so y'all just like won't do this. And they're like, no. I was just like, I have an order for it, and I don't fucking know. The only way you can do it is if you fake symptoms and go into urgent care and then get it done. And like, you want me to fake some shit or what? And so I ended up just figuring out I could schedule it at CVS, and their tests were appropriate for a procedure. So
Oh,
after
nice.
like, yeah, 2 hours of just being thrown around in circles, I was like, all right, CVS. So we got that done. Got everything done that I need for that. And so that's my next thing. And then with the knee stuff, I was finally quoted for the PRP injections, and it's going to be about basically $1,000 per shot. So yeah, I think I'm just going to stay broken.
Shit, man.
Yeah. So that was my week. That's about it.
Oh God. Well, I think you just need to wear shorter shorts and get in elevators a lot more, and then you get a
you
little
know,
ego boost. Or you want to run away. It's either or. I mean,
I think you're onto something there. I'm gonna go find some elevators, and I mean, I won't be wearing any pants when they stick something up my peen, but I think that's not, the best game plan. I think the elevators are the only way that works.
only way. I always thought it was so ridiculous that because I understand why we have to have elevators at the gym because it's like ADA and stuff, but
Mhm.
like people use the elevators a lot to be going to a gym, like, and it's only 3 stories. It's not like it's a ton. Like it cracks me up.
You know
And
what?
the really funny thing is my boss takes the elevator every day to go to the second story.
You sh- you should, like, if you guys have a camera in the elevator, you should just have like the walk of shame, and that's just instead of using the stairs, you're using the elevator. You just put people's
The
like
ride of shame.
photos. Yeah, like only if it's someone who very very obviously can use their legs. Like put them on the wall. Be like, it's you on the wall this week. Uh, Be like, use your legs. You got some.
Yeah.
Don't take advantage of that.
Don't take them for granted.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness. Well, that kind of
So
segues into our topic.
yeah, I think
Not really,
maybe
but
not.
we're going to work
No. Yeah.
it.
We're forcing this. So what are we talking about, Cal?
So, we're talking about weight loss myths today. Super
Yes.
fun.
Hmm.
We're going to go over all the things that we hear I think I could make a whole like slew of them just based on what like people of my mom's generation tell me.
Right?
Like,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
true.
I feel like 80s moms that had kids in like the 80s and 90s are were fed so many lies, I think, that they have no idea what weight loss
Yeah.
truly entails.
Yeah, except for it's kind of gone in reverse. Well, okay. So like back in, the mom weight loss days, it was like a low fat type of thing. It was like fat makes you fat, so low fat everything. And now Atkins came around a little bit in the like 90s, 2000s, and
Yeah.
it was all, just eat like low carb. Don't eat all the carbs. You can eat fat. It's not evil anymore. And then that kind of faded away, but then there's the keto is the new Atkins, so it all just cycles. It's just a cycle of diet life.
Yep. And then just like Slim Fast and like shakes just mixed in, thrown in there for fun.
Oh my gosh, can I just go on a rant about shakes for 2 seconds?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Just okay, so diet myth number one, you have to just drink shakes.
Yeah.
But
Or juice
okay,
cleanses.
so
I feel like they're the same thing.
yeah, like people just get. I think it's because people are always hungry and they're like, it must be working. I'm hungry as hell. Yeah, I'm losing weight. And she's like, that's not how it works. So
Yeah.
I hate this whole shake meal replacement thing because you can eat an awesome meal or like a big salad that'll keep you full for hours in replace of this shake with like the same calories, but for some reason people think it's magic and it's gonna work because it's a weight loss shake. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. It is not magic. You're just gonna be hungry in 2 seconds, and you're gonna quit, or you're gonna wonder like where you went wrong, and you're like, "Fuck this, I tried." And I feel like that's where a lot of people are at today. So why are we drinking shakes? Can we just eat meals, people?
Yeah. Well, so like my gym is attached to a like so it's the second and third story of a building, and the first story is where like the front desk is where I work. And the front desk has like across the way is another business, and it's a health restaurant cafe, and it's just smoothie bowls and like
Ugh,
fancy shit. And
no.
the number of people who walk straight out of the gym to go get a smoothie, and then but they'll have like a smoothie and then also like a sandwich and a salad and stuff. I'm like, dude, you're eating like 3 meals.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've never understood the smoothie thing, and I was never a smoothie person, simply because I'm like, but that doesn't make sense. There's so much in there, and that's not gonna keep me full. So that's just a drink that I never understood it because it doesn't make logical sense.
No, yeah. And if you think about smoothies too, like people don't understand why there's so many calories because they think, oh, it's, it's fruits, vegetables, whatever you're adding into it. So it's not going to be very many calories. But at what point in your life have you ever sat like 5 oranges, 3 bananas, and like a cup of blueberries and a cup of strawberries and some kiwi and mango and just eating it all right there in front of you? It's like
With and
no
wash
one
it down
does
with a big
that.
glass of milk. Like
Yes. Or add some ice cream to it. And like that's what you do with smoothies. It's like all of that is put into a blender and blended up so you can eat it. And it's
fast.
so many calories. Yes.
And peanut butter too. It's like I love all those things. Don't get me wrong, but like that isn't gonna help you lose weight, and you're gonna be
No.
hungry immediately.
Yes. Yeah, that's a lot of like fruit never keeps me full. Like it'll solve if like I have a little bit of a sweet craving, but if I eat an apple when I'm hungry, I'm gonna be hungrier in like 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, it doesn't do shit, and like, well, yeah, because it. The only thing, so I love fruit, and I think fruit is delicious, but I don't
Same.
eat a ton of fruit because like I don't like it. All it does is like I can mess with my blood sugar really well, and I don't know if you remember this. I used to have like this issue where I would go like really I would like pass out sometimes and stuff. Do you remember this?
I
Well,
know.
before
I
I
know.
got on my meal plan, it was right before prep, I think, or right around prep. but or right like at the very beginning. And if I didn't eat at the exact right timing, I would get like really lightheaded and like either have to eat like immediately and eat a meal too early, or I would have risk of passing out, and it's because like my blood sugar would drop really fast, really suddenly, and
That's interesting.
fruit does that to me a lot because it's just so carby with nothing
Yeah,
to back it up.
it can definitely spike your blood sugar for sure. Um, less so than if it was like a soda or something, or maybe if you ate it with some fat, it wouldn't do that as much. But yeah, there's sugar in it. It's not to say that, oh, don't eat fruit because it has sugar. It's just, well, it doesn't keep you full very long. It is still good for you. You can still eat it, but it's not like great on its own because, yeah, it can spike your blood sugar, and then you do end up hungry. So be wise about like where you're putting your fruit. If you're eating it with some peanut butter, almond butter, might be a little better for the blood sugar.
Yeah, I would just like throw it in like as part of a meal, like some oatmeal with some blueberries and maybe some peanut butter, like some whey powder, maybe. I don't know, something along
That's
those lines.
interesting. Wonder if it was just because it was like such a carb heavy
I think
meal
so.
in
I think it's
general.
because I had carbs with nothing else. Like it was just straight carbs, you know. I don't know.
That makes sense. Yeah,
But
that'll
I
do it.
have other kinds of issues too, so we don't need to get into that. But um,
Maybe we
so
should. Let's talk about that. I'm just kidding.
what's your other? Okay, let's do our next myth. So we got our shakes out the way.
Yes. What is our next myth?
One of my favorites that I always hear is, well, all I have to do is I don't like running, so I'm never gonna lose weight. Have you
Yes,
ever heard
cardio.
that one?
Oh yeah, or just asking like, "Hey, my goal is to lose weight. Should I be doing more cardio?" And it's like, no.
No.
You do not need it to lose weight. It can be a supplement when you like hit a plateau or you don't want to lower calories, but it's not one of those things that's like the only way.
Be all end
No.
all.
Yeah.
But that's also great news, I think, for most people because I feel like most people don't love cardio. So
Yeah.
I think that should be good news to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, it's great for your health. I think everyone should still do it, but it is not necessary. And I don't mean everyone. When I say cardio, I don't mean everyone's got to run. Like,
Yeah.
go for a nice brisk walk. That's good enough. Get your heart rate up a little bit, or ride your
Ride a
bike,
bike.
whatever, swimming, whatever gets your heart rate up for a bit. Just for health reasons, but you don't need to do it specifically for weight loss. So maybe, yeah, people can rest
I
a
even
little
have
easier at night.
Yeah, I even have a friend who does jump roping for their cardio. They're like,
Yeah,
like,
there you
yeah,
go.
if you like it, go ahead and do
I'd
it.
rather walk, but
He's like, well, I have bad calves too. I'm like, well, maybe you should work calves, but I mean, you can go ahead and jump rope too.
good point. He's like, I will do everything except for actually working my calves.
Yeah.
Any other myths that you can think of?
Let's see, the starvation one. So like that, I have to completely restrict everything to. I remember I was trying to help my mom once, and I just had her write down everything she ate in a day, and she was at like 1,200 calories, and my mom is like 5'8", 5'9", and I'm like, oof, that is way too few.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, so
Like basically, people thinking they have to starve to lose weight.
starve
Is that
themselves to lose weight. Yeah,
gotcha?
the super
Yeah,
restrict.
yeah, and that's why I think people like the juices and the smoothies because they're hungry, so they think they're on the right track.
Yeah, yeah. What's the next one you want to talk about?
um, Probably to like follow up on the starvation uh, line subject is that like going into starvation mode is the reason you're not losing weight. And that one is pretty common because it's easier to not have to take responsibility for things. So
Yeah.
like starvation mode does not exist. Does metabolic adaptation exist? Yes. Are there certain, uh, disorders and diseases that can affect your energy expenditure? Yes. But that does not mean it will make it impossible to lose weight. Your body is unfortunately not magical, and if it was, there would not be any starving people in the world. No one would have ever starved on the face of this planet. So starvation mode, unfortunately, yeah, that is a myth. Metabolic adaptation, your body can adapt, to the amount of calories that you are consuming by expending less energy and stuff like that. But a lot of the times, the biggest reason why you might not be losing weight is you're not tracking accurately. There's like 20 to 50% error margin, like for for tracking food, so it's pretty high. And Also, not moving around as much, not as much movement throughout the day, more sedentary as you consume less, that sort of thing. So awareness is definitely key in that aspect. And unfortunately, if you're not losing weight, you really just got to audit yourself and see that you're covering all those bases. And we did a whole podcast on that already, but yeah.
Well, and I think the next one that we can easily go to is that you have to eliminate a certain area of food in order to lose weight. So when we're talking about the magic pills of keto or Atkins or any of the other, what was in the Mediterranean diet one that was eliminating something, and there's like the carnivore diet and all
I
these
mean,
fad
even
diets.
veganism,
Yeah.
like, I know veganism has there's moral reasons and then there's like the health aspect, but I feel like the health aspect of that is so misunderstood.
Yeah. Well, I think all of those are completely misunderstood in the fact that they just like there's no one answer and there's no one magic bullet to weight loss other than calories in versus calories out, which is kind of calories are king to an extent. But when we're talking, the only way to lose weight is to eliminate all carbs. That's just crazy talk.
Yeah.
And same with eliminating all fat.
Yeah. So for anyone who might think that eating carbs makes you fat or eating carbs makes you gain weight, it might initially, if you're like, say you go low carb for even just 2 weeks and then you introduce carbs back in your diet, you'll probably see the scale bump up, but that is just water weight because it just takes more water to store carbs. So that's another thing. If you go on the keto diet and you drop 15 pounds in the first week, a lot of that is water weight because you are not having to store those carbs anymore. Like they're just not there. So yeah, it's all diets are just calorie deficit. So calories in, calories out is still applying to all these diets. It's just that when there's a whole food group that's taken out, it takes out a lot of like the junky processed foods that we normally might want to snack on, stuff like that. So it's really just the same. You are just eating less calories.
Well, and I think a lot of it is just gaining awareness. It's almost like it's how like when even you just start tracking, but you're not actually like messing with any of your numbers. You're just like tracking what you're eating because you're more aware of it and you're thinking about it. You're just eating. You're making better decisions. It's the same thing with
Yes.
intermittent fasting. You're closing the window of how many calories you can eat. Like you're shortening the time that you can eat calories.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just calories less. That isn't anything special about the intermittent fasting. Um, yeah, and I think people don't really understand that. And I think because they don't understand why, they just think, well, that's science then I'll lose
Yeah.
weight. If I can't understand it,
Yep.
that
They're
means
like,
it's true.
yes, exactly. Yeah, and eating fat doesn't make you fat. You need fat. It's essential for your life. Like I guess if you could consider fat probably doesn't have as large of like a thermic effect. It doesn't take as much energy to store, but it doesn't mean that fat just makes you fat. You're still using it for energy. But yeah.
Oh, goodness. All right, what's the next one?
Um, I guess we could address like spot reducing or spot reduction.
Oh, yes.
Because that's a pretty big one.
Oh, you mean if I don't just work abs? If I could just work abs only, that means I'm just going to lose belly fat.
Yeah, that you're gonna target that belt now. I like to always say, if you might notice that a lot of scrawny ass coked up rock stars have six packs, right? Do you think that they spend hours upon hours doing ab crunches or whatever, and that's why they have abs? It's like, no, everyone has abs. You just have to be lean enough for anyone to see it. So even like a skinny ass coked up rock star can have a six pack, but is that what you want? Like, is that what you're going after? It's just like, you can do all the crunches in the world, and of course, yeah, your abs are a muscle. You can build them to an extent, but it's never going to be enough to like shine through some fat,
Some belly.
Yeah.
Some belly.
Yeah. So it's like, you can ask me, I get the question on like, what are some good ab exercises to get abs, or like, how fast can I get abs? And it's just like, that I'm not a psychic. I should just start like a business, like an ab psychic, so people could come to me and I could tell them a time frame of when they might get some abs.
Well, this is approximately how much fat you have. We divide that over and how much you starve yourself. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah. So no spot reduction. That is not a thing, guys. Stop asking about.
and the other thing, and like this one is, I get this a lot. Is just especially from our trans brothers, people who want to try to make their dysphoria go away by either working their chest out before top surgery and to try to eliminate chest tissue, or hips. I've had guys ask about hips, and it is just not possible, sadly.
Yeah. It's like, well, you can do a little bit, but it's in the same, if you want to like lose weight in your chest, your hips, whatever, you can't control where your body's going to pull that fat from. Can you shrink it down? Yeah, but that includes being in a calorie deficit and going through all the usual steps for any weight loss. It doesn't matter. You're not targeting it. You just, things can go down, like things can shrink. It just takes time. Also, it depends on how long you've been on your hormones, because it takes a while for the body to start, redistributing your fat in a more masculine way versus feminine. So that's something I've noticed, like, the longer I'm on T, like, the less I'm worried about gaining, like, in a bulking phase, because I don't feel like it's just going straight to my hips or whatever. I'm like, oh, it's just going to my back. Like, it's different now. We're good.
Well, and I think everybody's different even in that sense, because, like, so I gain, and I've always been someone who gains weight in their stomach. And I never put on weight in my legs. I never put any like weight in my hips or anything like that. It's all comes in my beer belly without beer. And like I've shown people before. I've talked to Cody about it. Like, I can have like a gut and still have abs. That's just what my body does. And so like everybody's different. Like, you gain weight in different places. And I think a lot of that's genetic, so we can't necessarily control that. And the one thing that I also tell people is that you can try to force perspective sometimes, like when you're doing stuff, by gaining muscle in certain areas. But again, that growing muscle takes a lot of time. You can ask either one of Cody.
Yeah, it sure does. It takes about a whole life. So. Yeah. All right. Any other ones that you can think of? Oh,
I think those are the common ones I get.
one that I was just kind of looking at some ideas, and eating at night, like late in the evening, I feel like is a big thing that people still get all like flustered about. I just did a YouTube video and I ate at like 10 at night, and someone commented being like, it's not good to eat that late. And I was like, okay. So eating past, like, I feel like Oprah was the one who birthed this idea
God
because
damn it,
she was
Oprah.
like, yeah, come on. I think it was back in like the Dr. Oz days when she was like trying to lose weight. And so she's like, what I did is I stopped eating after 7 p.m. and that is
I
my
like your
cutoff.
Oprah voice.
And everybody gets a car. So, yeah, so like Oprah, I think borned that idea, and it's okay. You can eat past 7 p.m. Like, is it ideal for digestion? No, like you have to consider other things, but it's not going to be this thing that just makes you endlessly gain fat. Your body's still going to use that energy. It's not automatically all just being stored as fat. Like, it's going to be okay. You just want to consider your quality of sleep. It's harder to sleep if you're like digesting a lot of food, or your digestion just isn't as good because your body wants to rest. It doesn't want to just digest all the shit you just ate. So it's like, yeah, you should consider it for those reasons, but don't like shy away from it because you think you're just going to gain a shit ton of weight. So yeah, thanks, Oprah.
That's a good one. We also there's a lot of people talk about how like different things cause weight gain, like artificial sweeteners and pop and all of those, and things. And again, we're just going back to that same concept of it's just of calories. Calories are king. If you're burning less than what you're taking in, you're gonna store that. Like that's just simple math.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, here's one that has been kind of popular. It's not quite as, it's still kind of a thing, but like, so gluten-free diets, or I guess this is still like falls in the realm of elimination diets. Yeah, I think a lot of people for a while thought that going gluten-free was another magical way to lose weight, and maybe it was at first because there was literally no gluten-free processed products. You were just kind of on your own, like, here's some rice, enjoy. But now you got everything gluten-free, cookies, crackers, chips, whatever. So just going gluten-free, especially now, not gonna help you much. You can still eat all of the same things.
Well, that's like I used to get that all the time when I was vegetarian. I'm like I was the most unhealthy vegetarian. Like I would eat grilled cheese for like 3 meals and be okay with it. Like you don't have to take in any vegetables if you want to be a vegetarian. Like like if you really don't want to, you don't have to.
That's true. That's why I used to say sometimes, because people would be like, they would tell me to go vegetarian or vegan, which I was already in a previous life, but not a lot of people know that. But they're like, want me to. I was like, I probably eat more vegetables than most vegans and vegetarians do.
Yeah.
Like my diet is plant based, so
Yeah. You can be plant based and very unhealthy.
yeah. Let's see. Is there other ones that you can think of off the top of your head?
No, not off the top of my head.
What about, so one, sometimes people use the sauna thinking that they're like sweating out fat calories. I don't really have a lot to say behind that besides no.
No.
Like, sauna isn't going to help you burn fat. It's just going to make you real hot for a second. Then you gotta rehydrate. Any weight loss that comes from the sauna is just water loss.
Water.
So don't just be like, yeah, this is working.
Yeah. I get so mad because we have a sauna at the gym and everybody, like, people will be in there until, like, at close, and then I have to, like, knock on the door. Hey, we're closing. Drives me crazy. Stupid sauna people. I mean, no
Sorry
shame if you
enjoy
don't.
that.
No shame if you like a sauna, but don't be jerks to the people who are trying to get out of there.
Let's see if there's anything else. I like this one. I'm just reading off other ideas. Is weight loss always means fat loss. So that is where I like to, kind of emphasize the difference between weight loss and fat loss. Like just weight alone could be, you could be losing muscle, you could be losing fat, water, shit.
Yeah,
Like all of
actual,
these things.
yeah.
Yeah, actual shit. And then we got fat loss, and then that's just fat loss. Well, how do you tell the difference? And you can't instantly. It takes time. It's why when you weigh yourself every day, you get the trend of where your weight is going. Obviously, if you really want to, you can like spend the money to get your body fat tested at like a place that's legit and accurate, not your scale.
Not your
Don't
scale at
use
home.
not your home scale. That doesn't work. I'm sorry. Uh, so, yeah, big difference between just weight loss, fat loss. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, and I just think that goes back to, I know we've talked about it on a previous podcast, of why scale fluctuations aren't always the best tool for any journey. Yes, they're pieces of data, but not the be all end all. Just like I think the trend of this topic, this whole episode is there's no one other than calories in, calories out, end all be all for
Yeah.
a weight loss journey, fat loss journey.
Yeah, and it's like if there was a shortcut or a life hack or a pill or whatever, we would probably find out how to give that to you, or we would have by now.
Or we would have already used it ourselves, let's be honest.
That too. Yes, exactly. Man, I mean, I wish we could find something. That's what you got to remember, you guys, we are on the same team here. We are just humans trying to hack life.
Yep, absolutely, friends. We also don't always want to be in the gym at every waking moment, but I guess that's a good one. You don't have to be in the gym at every waking moment, but the more you work out doesn't necessarily mean the more that you're actually doing good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
it's
I was just talking to a coworker. Yeah.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Nope.
I was just talking about this. There's a client who goes in the gym who stays in there for like 2.5 hours. Probably not going to be any better off than.
Yeah. Well, it's like sometimes my sessions can be decently long because I'll add, I have cardio at the end of it.
Cardio.
But you don't have. It's like you don't have to be in there for 2 hours to lose weight. You don't have to be in there for an hour to lose weight. It just has to be whatever you can do to fit your schedule and whatever game plan you have figured out, or you and your coach or whatever. It's just like all of these things are just not the necessary means to weight loss. It's just maybe
There's
little pieces of
path.
everything. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was trying to say. What else were we? Is there anything else?
I don't know. I interrupted you, so.
I think I interrupted you, but I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, well.
It'll come back.
What are we even talking about? Maybe. I guess, I mean, it's not really a myth, but I guess, setting realistic expectations or knowing that you won't see results immediately. So just in the same way that you're not going to see like a 5-pound weight loss after one day of, hitting your calories, you're not going to derail your fat loss, weight loss by having one day of, high calories or off meals or whatever, So it swings both ways just as slowly. So just try to remember, one end, it's not going to be fast. And on the other end, it's not going to be fast. So relax. So, yeah.
Yep. It's just what you do the majority of the time that's going to get your answers. It's the majority rules.
Yep. Yep. Your results are the product of what you're most consistent at.
Yep.
Let's see.
That's what I keep telling Cody. We need those WWJD bracelets, but add a C so it's James Clear.
Yep. We should have people vote on that. Would you buy bracelets? That would say WWJDC. Is that what it, James? Oh, just JC.
No, JC.
That still could be Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
I know.
What would James do?
We'll have to put the James. What would James do?
Yeah. We'll just spell out the name WWJD.
The bracelet would be huge.
I know. People be like, what is this? This is just so stupid. Um, let's see. I think we might have covered everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. Unless you
Well,
can.
not off the top of my head, but I think the general trend is just don't listen to what Oprah says. She doesn't know what she's talking about unless she's giving you a car. In that case, you can listen,
Yes.
but just maybe not about her health recommendations.
No.
And I think we just need to remember that there are just no shortcuts. You just have to put in the work, and it might suck, but I mean, at least we know the answer.
Yeah. Yeah. There is a solution, so that's a good thing, right? It's good news. There's a solution. It's not easy, but it's possible.
Yep. And I think there's plenty of people out there who can show you it's possible. Like I said, there's no one right answer, other than it's not keto.
Yes. I mean, unless you can do keto for the rest of your life and enjoy it, sure. By all means, have at it, but that's definitely not the majority of the people.
All right, so should I roll into the power talk?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Okie dokie. All right, so today for the power talk, I have a quote from Thomas Jefferson, of all people. So I've heard a lot of like really crappy attitudes as of late, like just people out there. Well, and like I understand, like it's been a hard couple of months for people. Like I mean, Cody and I have told y'all that we had a really rough August ourselves. So here's my quote, and then I'll kind of elaborate after. So nothing can stop a man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help the man who's with the wrong attitude. And I think that I just really like that because I think it really is about mental framing of everything. It's all in actuality a mental game against yourself. Like as long as you have the right attitude about it, I feel like you're not going to give up. You're just going to keep working, and you're going to enjoy it. I think the real key to in any kind of journey, whether you're trying to gain weight or whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to get on a stage or whether you're trying to like play with your grandkids when you're older, just doing something for longevity. I think as long as you're approaching it with the right mindset in that you're trying to learn and get better, and that is the real goal, then I think you've already pretty much won because you are on the right path.
Yes. Yep.
So I think if you can just audit your mental attitude, and it's okay to have bad days and have like a shitty day where you don't feel good and you don't feel hope or anything, but as long as you're not staying there, if you're just vacationing, I think it's okay. But because everybody's gonna have ups and downs, I think it's just keeping it in check and keeping your head on straight is really gonna get you where you want to be.
Yes. Yes. I agree. And it's like sometimes attitude can be so hard. Like there's seriously days that just suck, and then you're trying to convince yourself to have a good attitude.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, it's all about your perspective. And I'm just like, fuck off.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's necessary,
yeah.
but like as long as you get back on the horse, I think you're on the right path.
Basically, yeah, you could vacation into hopelessness for a temporary amount of time, and then make sure you come back and you get your ass out your head and you keep moving forward.
Yeah, it's okay to have a shitty day, but it just don't let your head stay there because it can go downhill fast. So
yeah, that's for sure.
yeah. All right. Well, until next time, friends.
Yes.
Peace out.
Leave us a review too
Oh, yeah.
on on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever your heart desires. Follow us on Instagram, email
we
us.
and we're gonna have exciting things coming, so make sure you're following the Instagram.
Yes. And peace out.
Bye.
Bye.